Welcome to practice. My name is Selena Garofino. If you're enjoying these classes, I invite you to join my YouTube membership. For about the price of a cup of coffee, you can support me staying in the studio and delivering these classes to you every single week in your inbox. And if you're ready for a non-dogmatic approach to yoga that lets you find a path and a purpose that is right for you, I invite you to join my 200 or 500-hour yoga teacher trainings online, live streaming, totally self-paced, or in person in select locations around the world. I also offer Katonah Yoga teacher trainings and programs for practitioners, mythology courses, and retreats around the world, and I would love to have you. The discount code YouTube will get you a special rate on any of my upcoming retreats. Today, I just want to dive into a short practice. We get so caught up sometimes in the yoga guilt and shame and thinking that if it's not overtly spiritual and if it's not 90 minutes, then what are we doing? And the truth is at least in my yoga lineage, everything is sacred. There's no separation between the mundane and the holy. We make things holy and sacred with our attention. And the word mundane means of the earth. And I don't know about you, but I am definitely that. Every moment that we pause and take a deep breath is a spiritual encounter. Every time we play in our body and we listen to a child laugh and we listen to the rustling of the leaves in the trees, we're experiencing something holy and we're engaging in yoga. Yoga is our cultivated attention and awareness. So with that, let's just do a quick practice. Naveen always says that asana is house cleaning, and that if you never clean your house, you have a problem. And if you clean your house 7 hours a day, you have a problem. So do with that information what you will. I'm sitting up on a block between my heels. I'd invite you to do the same. If this bothers your knees, feel free to sit in a way that's appropriate for you, but make sure that you're right up on top of your perineum, at the place between the anus and the pelvic floor, so that you can really have a connection below you, a wave in the spine, and a rise through the crown of the head. And then take your hands to your heels. We're just going to warm up the body with a little bit of breath before we start to move. So inhale and tuck your tailbone, round your chin, and then as you exhale, pop your chest and arch your back. Go slow, couple breaths here, pulling breath in even as you're rounding the spine, and exhaling and opening it up. Good. And now, as if you were pedaling a bicycle and you started to pedal that bike a little faster, I want you to move a little bit quicker. So you can sort of think that your pelvic floor is like a match and the block underneath of you is a giant striker, and you're going to start to build some heat and move that heat through the form. Pump the breath. So it's a forceful inhale and a forceful exhale. We call this a bellows breath or a Bastrika's breath. So an in, out, push, pull, push, pull. And the movement in the spine might be smaller now as you start to really, like you were rubbing two sticks together, build some heat underneath of yourself. I really like to do this when I have stiffness in my lower back. So keep pumping your breath. You might notice it's a little agitating and that it's really heating you up. In, out, in, out, in, out. Just about 20 more seconds. Really go for it. Let it get a little chaotic. When we're building a fire, we want to make sure that we're vigilant so the fire doesn't burn down the whole house, but we also want to make sure that we're feeding it enough air that it can be a little bit wild, right? So it's contained, but it's doing what fire does. Good. About 5, 4, 3, 2. Pause in the center. Take a deep breath in. Now fill yourself all the way up. Even more. Take in so much air you can't take in possibly another sip, and then squeeze your pelvic floor a little bit, pressurize everything from the bottom to the top, and then exhale and pop your cork. Really nice job. Good. I'm going to turn to the side. You stay just where you are. So when I'm doing a quick little practice, I really like to work with the front body and opening up my lungs some days. So here, I want you to bring your fingertips. You know what? Let's actually take a big breath in and take the arms up to the sky. Good. So we're already finding a little sense of buoyancy. Now rotate your palms away from you. Take your fingertips back to the floor behind you and open up your chest in a back bend. Keep the chin lengthening towards your chest so you're not just throwing the head back. And now bend your elbows and then straighten them and extend into the back bend. Little bend and reach. Let the breath just flow really naturally. Good. Couple more. Nice. And now lean all the way back, bend the elbows, and lift your knees up so you're stretching the top of the feet. I know it's so uncomfortable. And tap it back down 2 more times. Good. Last time, 1 more. Super good. Beautiful. Come forward on the block and set the block aside at the top of the mat where you can reach it later. And then bring your hands underneath of your shoulders, your knees under your hips, curl your toes under, and let's come up and back to a downward facing dog. Now, maybe you've been sitting, so you need to take a moment and play around, bend a knee, straighten a leg, just start to open up, feel into the body. But then as soon as you can, come to a, dynamic but static downward facing dog. Come up on the balls of the feet, lift your buttock bones super high, find a wave in the spine. Take the gaze ever so slightly forward, fold in your hip crease. Good, and then come forward to a plank and back to a dog. Forward to a plank and back to a dog. I really love to start my practice this way, just pulling some heat into the body, especially if it's a short one. So pump the breath, fold and unfold from the hip, and then pause right back in that downward facing dog. Buttock bones nice and high. Good, keep your left knee bent, take your right leg up to the sky. Very good. And then bend your knee and just roll out that hip. Just finding some lubrication in the joints. Good. Re-extend that right leg nice and high. Take your knee to your nose and step your right foot between your hands. Let your knee land where your heel landed. Now lift the back heel nice and high and take your fingers out to 10 and 2. Look out. Super good. Drop to your back knee, uncurl the back toes, and now just bend and straighten that back leg a couple times. And this can be really uncomfortable. In time, you'll start to find the stability in the leg, find the opening in the top of the ankle. Use your breath. Try not to check out of the proverbial building that is your body. 1 more time. Good. And then stay down. Nice. Now from here, if you have a block handy, and it's going to feel really high, so you can also, if you don't want to use that 4-inch block, you can grab a blanket or even just roll up your mat. Pop something underneath of your heel so you're really supported on the ball of the foot, and then unfold into an Anjaneyasana. Super nice, as it is known. Spread the back foot, send your pubis forward, open everything up, the whole of the front body. So nice. Take your hands to your lower back, interlace your fingers, pop the knuckles back, broaden your collarbones. Nice and buoyant on that front foot. Good. Unravel that. You can slide the blanket over or the block for the other side. Step back, downward facing dog. Good. Again, get high on the balls of the feet, bend the knees, get the buttock bones high. Keep your right knee bent. Take your left leg up. And then bend your left knee and roll that hip around. Good. Re-straighten your left leg. Take your left knee to your nose and transition your foot between your hands. Start by coming up high on the ball of the back foot, fingers out towards 10 and 2, look out. And then drop to the back knee. Uncurl the back toes. Find that little sense of lift, either with a blanket, a 2, or if you're feeling very frisky, even a 4-inch block, and then unfold right from the hip crease. Take your arms up. Really find the ball of that front foot so it's nice and buoyant, nice and light. Pubis forward, opening up the whole of your potential. Take the opposite interlace at your lower back. Push the knuckles back. Just this real sense of clearing, pulling us right back into the present moment by traveling our personal terrain. So when we put the imagination into our yoga poses and we sit there and really think back foot down, knee forward, ball of the front foot, spread the collarbones, it keeps us super present because sensation is always present. Good. Unravel it, fingertips to the floor, and step back. Down dog. Nice. Balls of the feet, buttock bones high. Come all the way forward to floating up dog, pubic bone towards the mat, and then buttock bones up and back. 2 more. Forward, all the way, floating up dog. Buttock bones up and back. 1 more time. Unfolding from the hip and all the way back. Very good. Walk your feet forward to your hands. Separate the feet hip distance apart, 2 fists between the arches, and just hang. Shift the weight forward to the ball of the foot, back into the heel. Good, so you're putting the brakes on and then going forward, pedal to the metal. Just a little gentle rock forward and back. So good. And then find the middle once again, hang over the legs. And now bend your knees, sweep your fingertips back so you're in sort of a ski jumper shape. Chest is lifted. Good. Flip the palms away from you, thumbs to the sky. Open your whole chest. Good. Sweep your arms by your ears as you stand all the way up. Exhale, bend the knees. Sweep the fingertips back. Float up onto the balls of your feet. Drop the heels, lift all the way back up to stand. Again, bend the knees. Sweep the fingertips back, up on the toes. Drop the heels, lift all the way up. One more time. Finding that fluency, push all the way up to stand. Very nice. Take your arms down at your side and just pause for a minute. Palms forward, nice and open and spacious. Good. Take your arms up, big breath in. Exhale, hinge from your hip crease. Fold down over your legs. Inhale, take your heart forward. So nice. Walk it back, downward facing dog. Lunge your right foot between your hands. And then pin your back heel down. Take your right hand to the inside of your right leg and find contact between your right knee and the back of your right shoulder. Swing that left hip around and forward. Look out so that you're really finding the back bend in the shape, and then start to turn your chest to the left. Keep finding 3 and 9 o'clock in your hips. Take your left arm to the sky, flip the palm towards the crown of the head, and look out. Keep pushing the right knee into the back of the right shoulder. Keep broadening your collarbones. Keep lifting the back leg. So good. Another big full breath here, expanding in every direction. And then take your left hand down onto the mat and step back. Down dog. Let's go forward through floating up dog and back. Lunge your left foot forward. Pin the back heel down a little bit out to the right of the mat so you have more space. Take your left hand to the inside of your left leg. And then plant your left palm on the floor, right hand to your sacrum. Take your left knee and plug it into the back of your left shoulder. Take that right hip around and forward. Back bend, travel forward, and then out of that, find the spin. Take the right arm to the sky, flip your right palm towards the crown of your head, look out. Keep sending that right hip around and forward. Full breathing. So good. Right hand down to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Give it a little bounce here. Good. And then walk your feet forward to your hands once again. Bend your knees deeply. Drop the head, the neck, your hands. Throw the knees forward and spinal wave all the way up to stand. Good. Turn and face the long edge of your mat. And I want you to just start to bounce the heels. If we're thinking of practice today as a clearing, if we're thinking of practice today as an opportunity to just drop into present sensation, if we're thinking of it as a way to empty out so we can be ready and available for whatever we're about to receive, start to shake, like you are really shaking it out, releasing things. Let your hips move, let the knees move, soften into your ankles. You might let the head get involved, maybe even your jaw. Find a little shake, shake, shake. Really go for it for just about 10 more seconds. Shake, shake, shake. Maybe even take your hands up to the air. Maybe shake out your feet. Letting go of anxieties. It's like dusting the cobwebs out of the house. 3, 2, 1, pause. Just land, hand to heart, hand to belly, right at the center of yourself. Feel all the little vibrations, emotions, which are just energy in motion. Find your breath. Not that it was ever lost, but bring your attention to it. Really nice job. Wonderful. Separate your feet a bit wider than your hips and fold down over your legs. Very good. Take your right hand to your left shin. Take your left arm over the top of the right and grab a hold of your right shin with your left hand. Find a little bend in the knees. Unhook your right arm, take it to the sky, and twist. Spin the torso. Take your right arm alongside of your ear, cross it over, grab your left shin. Take your left hand up to the sky, spiral your heart open. Take your left arm alongside of your ear, cross it over, grab your right shin. Good, a couple more sets. Right arm up. Just thinking here that there's a nourishment from opposite lung to opposite kidney. In Chinese medicine and Katonah Yoga, we say the lungs feed the kidneys. Spin around yourself, nourishing yourself with breath, with sensation. Good, last time. Pause, arms are crossed over the legs once you finish, and then reach back and pick up your heels. You might need to shorten the stance a little. Send your knees towards your armpit, send the crown of your head towards the floor. And just pause here. Good, 2 more big breaths. Shake your head out. Shake it yes and shake it no. Really good. Unhook from your heels, pivot towards the top of the mat, and step back, downward facing dog. Lower down to your knees. Walk your knees back a little bit and lower all the way down to your belly. Bring your forearms to the mat. Press the tops of your feet down and just send your heart forward. Receive your breathing. Proud chest, gaze ever so slightly forward. You can hug the elbows slightly back. Really nice. One more big full breath here. And then lower your forehead down onto your stacked palms and just feel. Hold the body on the floor. So nice. Roll over onto your back. We're going to finish with a supported bridge today. Just a couple minutes there. So 1 to 2 blocks. My preference is 2 blocks on their highest height. So New York City height, lift up the hips, slide the 2 blocks underneath of your sacrum. And then from here, you can choose your position. I'm going to take the frame over my head today. That's calling to me. You can strap your thighs if you wish. I'm going to keep it simple. And allow yourself to receive your breath now. We've set up the conditions in the body for the in-breath to move freely. We shook out and released stagnancies. We've practiced being present with sensation. We did a little house cleaning. Asana always deals with the past. It's clearing emotional stagnancies, things we ate, things we fed on mentally, things that are living in our tissues. And the breath is the way in which we get present. It's always moving. We build a cup and we fill it up and we take a drink. So for the last couple minutes here, just drop into your breath. Notice how the shape of the back allows the breath to really move and stretch those lower abdominal tissues. Two more big full breaths here. Last breath. Good. If you have a configuration with the arms, take it down. Come up onto the balls of the feet, remove the blocks, and then lower down in a back bend so that the sacrum lands first. Roll over onto one side in a fetal position and sit yourself all the way up. We're going to finish with a quick little flush of Kapalabhati breathing. I'm going to sit up on a block. I invite you to do the same. In general, I like a blanket if I'm sitting cross-legged, but this will do. Throw your arms up in the air in the shape of a V for victory. You did it. You showed up on your mat. You showed up for yourself. Let's pump out a Kapalabhati. Forceful exhale, little sniff out the nose. When you're ready, take a deep breath in and begin. Out, 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 out. Don't worry about how fast I'm going. Tune your own instrument before you learn to play well in the orchestra. Keep pumping it out, 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 out. Letting go of stagnancies, getting the cobwebs out of the mind, clearing out the lungs, opening up. Keep going, just about 15 more seconds. Good. Exhale completely. Stay empty. Hook your thumbs over your head. Take a deep breath in. Take a few more sips. Fill it all the way up to the top. Hold your breath nice and full. And then exhale. Pop your cork. Fingertips to the floor. Drop your chin. Bring the backs of your hands to your thighs. Just feel the whole of the body alive. Maybe a little bit of sweat. Give gratitude for the moment that you had to take with yourself today. The people that supported you landing on your mat, the practices that have been given to us by all the teachers that came before us. To all of your practices in each of your hearts, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time. My name is Selena Garofino. I created my 200-hour, self-paced, totally virtual Yoga Alliance accredited teacher training and priced it at just $4.99 because I believe that everyone deserves access to excellence in education. Studying with me live streaming or in person can cost upwards of $2,500, and I want anyone that desires to pursue this path with me to be able to do so at an accessible rate from the comfort of their own home. Inside of this training, you will learn to cue with potency and efficacy. You'll learn to sequence powerfully vinyasa, hatha yoga classes, and so much more. You'll learn the art of adjustments, how to use props effectively and purposefully, not just saying to your students, grab a block if you need to. There are guest lecturers talking about topics like trauma-informed yoga, anti-racism in the yoga space, and so much more. When you're part of this program, you have access to bi-weekly calls with me for as long as you wish. Additionally, I host a special monthly event for all of my students and graduates. You have access to the recordings for as long as you wish. Inside of those classes, we talk about business of yoga. We go into deep pose studies. There's special meditation and asana classes, special storytelling classes, and so much more. Basically, I'm telling you that I've got you even after you graduate the program. We also have a private student forum that is not on social media, so you don't have to log into your Facebook to connect with other learners or to connect with me. If this sounds like something that you are interested in exploring, I invite you to head over to my website or send me a message so we can chat. Excellence in education is yours, and I am here to help you deepen your practice. Whether you just want to really dive into the heart of the yoga tradition or you're ready to take your passion for yoga out into the world, this is for